So my name is Seiko Matsumura. I am a PGA teaching professional, and I help golfers achieve their goals. For those that don't know me, have you thought to yourself recently, how can I play better golf? Or how about, how can I play better all the time? Are you the type of person that comes to class, gives 100% effort, but has a hard time to practice outside of class because of your busy schedule? You have a lot of homework. Your parents are busy. You may play other sports or have other activities to do, and also want to make great grades. Well, if you're in this position, don't worry, because I was in this position too. I totally understand that life is really busy, and there's so many things going on, and it's hard for you to practice. But I want to share a story with you, and I hope that this will help you to be able to play at a higher level in your golf game more often. So when I was back in college, I had the opportunity to play at the #1 women's golf, for the #1 women's golf program in the nation, and at a top 25 college. Don't ask me how I survived or how I even got there, but definitely privileged to have that opportunity. So because I was playing with a great, outstanding, incredible golf team, and at a really nice school, I had to get grades, or get good grades, and play the best golf I could. And I also wanted to have that, so that was a plus. But every time I played well, it seemed like my grades went downhill. And when my grades were good, my golf wasn't very good. So have you guys ever felt that way too, where you had a hard time balancing everything? Well, here's my story of finding the solution. Let's fast forward to last year. One night I was driving home, and I was just thinking to myself, I don't know, something needs to change. I didn't know what it was. I don't remember exactly what I was thinking that needed change, but I knew something needed change, and I needed to do something. I even had everything I wanted. I had a nice house, the best husband, the best daughter. I was just so grateful for everything and so fulfilled, but I just knew something else needed to be changed to maybe possibly achieve more. So I went to a seminar on how to develop yourself personally. And after that, I hired a life coach. For those that don't know what a life coach is, it's someone who just basically helps you achieve what you want in your life. And I also read this outstanding book. This is actually the second book I've ever read in my whole entire life, from cover to the last page. So I was really proud of myself. You heard me correctly. This is the second book I've ever read in my whole entire life. So this was a really good book. It really helped me to know what I wanted, know how to achieve what I wanted, and from there, I created a system that is helping me achieve at a high level all the time. So it took me only 36 years to realize that what I wanted, how to achieve it, and to create the system I wanted to change my life. So I was thinking what the difference was between when I started golfing um, and while I was in school, and what the difference was from then and now. And I realized that now I have a plan and a purpose in my life, which just means that I know what I want. I have like a clear vision of what I want. Still getting the specifics down, but I really know what I want. And being disciplined to take the specific actions to achieve what I want. So I think that means as I look back that I didn't have, I had goals, I had a purpose. I wanted to be the best golfer in the world, but I never took the most purposeful steps to achieve that, in my opinion. The good news that I always got things done that I need to get done. So my grades were good, they're okay. But because I didn't have the greatest system for achievement, I didn't play the level that I actually could have played, meaning that I probably could have played even better. So, which is kind of a bummer, but now I've realized that with the system I created, that I could achieve whatever I want all the time, and that I finally have been able to create something for you so you can achieve what you want all the time as well, especially in your golf game. And the good news also is that right now I'm playing my best golf. I'm bettering my career as a golf coach, and I'm bettering myself as the best version that I could be as a mother, wife, friend, and family member. So with this system, yeah, I just was able to create the best version of myself in all parts of my life. And I'm so happy to share this with you as well. So why am I sharing this with you? Because I know that you can shoot your target score, which for most of you on here, it's shooting 36 or better. And you could do that this season. You can do it at any time you want. So yeah, which is great news, right? Let me give you an example of what one of my current students is doing. Like I mentioned, you guys heard me, that I'm currently achieving a lot of things in all parts of my life, but I want to share a story of what my student is doing, so you know that there is a way. So I have one of my students that I work with. She is a high school stand-up, I would say. She is currently a junior and takes 4 AP courses, which I think that is crazy. I mean, AP courses to me just kind of already makes me overwhelmed. But so for those that don't know what that is, it's just basically probably more homework. I've never been in any AP courses, maybe an honors class, but that's it. But she's already doing homework, but then probably doing extra, and then learning extra challenging things. Her last season she played was in the fall with her high school golf team. She averaged in the low to mid 40s. Her best scoring season yet. So basically what I'm saying is she takes 4 to 5 AP courses. She probably has to miss class and then make up for it. most likely on her own, or maybe she asks her teachers. Comes home late from matches, and still gets schoolwork done. She obviously has to study for tests, made it to all her practices, shot her best scores, and all that with a busy schedule and doing well in golf. She received a 4.83 GPA. I mean, I didn't even think that was possible. I thought 4.0 was max. So if she can accomplish all of that at the same time, then so can you. And some of you might be thinking, well, maybe she's just smart, naturally smart. She was born smart, or naturally talented. She only plays one sport, people might say, or she was probably encouraged to do well when she was younger. But the point is that you can not only achieve at the highest level, but still be able to also hang out with friends, which she does, and be able to spend time with her family, which she does. So you can accomplish anything and everything while having everything as well, while having your family and your friends around you. Remember also that some people who aren't as lucky as you, so maybe someone who might not be able to do the same golf program as you, or that might not have the nicest clubs, or someone who might have to be taking care of their own siblings, are playing at a high level all the time. And how are they doing it? Well, they just, I wrote this down because they are creating the possible in impossible. So everything that some people might, the average person might think, oh, I can't do this, I can't do that because of this. Well, some people have a different mindset and create the different abilities to achieve what they want. So remember, anything is possible if you, well, I'm going to share that with you soon. So stay patient with me. There were a couple thoughts while I was growing up that I used to think I could only be good at one thing at a time. I used to think I had to sacrifice time with hobbies, friends, and family. I thought to be at the best at something, you only should put time, focus, and energy into that one thing. I thought my life had to be golf if I wanted to play at the highest level. And if I wanted to see consistent scores and great scores all the time, I thought life had to be all about golf. And that to-do list was the way to achieve my goals. Don't get me wrong, I still was able to achieve great things, but I feel like if I implemented some of the things that I learned this last year, then I could have done even more and better. So, like I mentioned, last year I had made the most growth in my entire life and finally created a system that is going to help you perform at the highest level right now. Right now, you can perform your best golf and enjoy doing other hobbies or other sports as well. So before I go into the system I created, I wanted to share a concept of one of the better, well, he's the #1 performance coach in the nation. What he mentioned in an interview that I heard a few weeks ago, and I loved it. And I'm actually obsessed about it, and I'm obsessed with this entire topic. So you guys are making me very excited. So give me a second. I want to, wanted to just use his words, but it's just so much better if you can hear it. So hopefully you can hear this. This is something new, but I hope you can hear it. And if you guys could let me know if you can hear it, that'd be great. I just have to turn on my volume on my computer. I hope you can hear this. Once again, he's talking about the difference between people who are passionate and obsessed on their passion. So please let me know if you can hear it or if you can't. So give me 1 second. Let me see if I could do this. Let me turn on my volume. Let's see. I want you guys to hear this. The difference between passionate people and then people who are obsessed on their passion or their goals. So let me see if I can get it. It's a 3-part video here because I was trying to get certain words from him. Okay, are you guys ready? Hold on 1 second.
Don't want to exude that much passion in which it becomes obsession.
Can you guys hear okay?
Obsessions. Well, if I'm obsessive.
I stopped it for a second. Can you guys hear it? Please let me know. Anyone? Okay, well, I'll just play it.
About this topic, it's going to take away from my family, from my time. It's going to introduce a lot of, fear or unknowns to me. So they back off. But I tell people all the time, there is a difference between passion and obsession. And high performers have obsession about the topic, right? They are obsessed about the topic in which they're trying to learn, master, grow into. And so that obsession is real. I tell people the difference, here's how you know the difference between the two. When you're passionate, everybody cheers you on. They're stoked for you. Oh, you found your passion? Awesome. Follow your passion. Live with passion. Be passionate. Chase your passions. Like, passion. Passion's good. Like, the world's gonna be like, yay, passion. Right? When you're obsessed, they're like, why are you gonna be so crazy? Why can't you be satisfied? Why do you always gotta get things so perfect? Why do you spend so much time here?
Okay, that's part
somebody's
one.
life, they're gonna tell you, that doesn't resonate. In somebody's life, they're gonna tell you, that doesn't resonate with me, Brendan. You try to make a difference in a nonprofit, you try to change the world, you try to start something like this, and the views come or they don't come, there's feedback. And people are terrified. It's one of the 4 central fears we all have is rejection. We're terrified, like to be rejected. And think about, if you really want to make an impact, you're going to get a lot of judgment, you're going to get a lot of hate, and ultimately you're going to get rejection. People are going to just diss on you. People are going to say, that's not good enough. People are going to say, who do you think you are? And people are so worried about that they stop. And so it's easier. Things that don't give you feedback. Watching Netflix don't give you no feedback. It's easy. There's no disappointment there. Even if you don't like the show, what do? You just go on to the next show. There's no disappointment there. I think trying to make an impact, there's a lot of disappointment and fear and potential for rejection. So people don't get obsessed about making a difference and making an impact because it can hurt. Go deeper.
Uh-oh, did I skip one part? All right, sorry about that. Okay, so basically Brendan's saying the difference between passionate people and people who are obsessed on their passion is most people don't want to become those obsessed people because of the fear of what people think about them. What else do you say? Basically, people don't know, results aren't guaranteed. People fear that they're not good enough to accomplish that. So just basically just fear of what people just basically fear. And what he's saying is that to perform at a high level all the time, you must be obsessed on your passion. Otherwise, you're never going to, otherwise you're just going to be passionate. You're just going to be a passionate golfer, a weekend golfer, in my opinion. Someone that just practices when they want to you know, when they have time. And those are the people that come through the golf course storming and saying how poorly they played and how frustrated they are and that they might want to quit golf. So we don't want to get there. We don't want to get to that point. So if you enjoy golf and you are so passionate on playing to your best ability and to wanting to pass into the next level, shooting 36 or better, you have to be obsessed on your goal. Otherwise, you're most likely not going to take action to achieve that. Okay. So I really, really like that. I thought that was really cool. Sorry if some of it didn't make sense. Maybe I accidentally skipped over one video, but I really, really liked that and that what he said about that and how he shared that. All right, so now let's talk about, I wrote out and I have 6 steps that are going to help you play to your highest ability all the time in the game of golf. Okay, so number 1, make sure you have a pen and paper or a pencil and paper or writing in your journal. This would be great to write in your journal. The number 1 step is, I hope you guys can see this correctly, you have to want to see changes and be willing to change your life. I'll say that one more time. You have to want to see changes and be willing to change your life. I hope you can see this correctly. Can you guys see this correctly? I hope you can see this correctly. Okay, so what I mean by that is no one can force you to basically make the change in your life, which means no one can make you go to the range on a consistent basis because it's just not healthy. If you don't want to be there, it's just not going to work out for the long run. And for golf, we're trying to play at a high level all the time throughout your entire golfing career. So even when you're 100 years old, we still want you to be playing to the best of your ability. And if you implement these things, I feel like you can. So make sure that you want to see the changes. No one else is forcing you to do it, because in the long run, it's just not going to work out. Okay. What else do I want to add? Yeah, to play at your highest level, you have to step up and say, I'm ready. And you're also ready to put in the work. Because to perform at a high level and to the best of your ability all the time, you must be willing to put in the work. I do like saying it does take blood, sweat, and tears, because to an extent it does. I wouldn't say maybe blood, maybe some sweat, maybe some tears, because if you're not sometimes having a hard time, then I don't think you're putting enough effort, in my opinion. So I'm not saying that this process is going to just be blood, sweat, and tears. No, you're gonna be fulfilled. You're gonna have fun in your journey, but sometimes you're going to have to see what needs change, and it might be one of those 3 in a figurative language. Okay. Also, I want to add that there's going to be times when you're going to have to force yourself to put in the work. As passionate and obsessed people on their goals, there's going to be a lot of times when you want to go and you feel like going out and practicing. But there's also going to be times when maybe you're not feeling 100%, or you're just not feeling 100% to go and practice. But everything is learned. Excuse me. So there's going to be times where you have to push yourself to go. And most of the time it might be uncomfortable, but as you keep working on it, you're probably going to get more comfortable as you go. Okay. Number 2, make sure you know exactly what you need to work on when you practice, or when you are practicing outside of our scheduled practices. Know exactly what you need to work on. So that means for some people, it might be working on their grip. It might be your self-talk. That might be how you're thinking about yourself, your abilities, your capabilities. So make sure that you know exactly what you need to work on, so then you can practice those habits and create those habits into positive, good habits. Also, when you, this would be also another good journal entry, your weekly to-do list on your goals. What I want you to write what you need to work on and why. So it's not because you're not going to say, oh, because I have to change my grip because I'm going to hit it better. Well, that might not be the reason why you are going to motivate yourself to get up and move. So, for example, when I was growing up, my goal was golf. And I'm getting back into wanting to play more golf. But for right now, in order to even think about achieving my golf goals, I have 3 things that I have to remember and implement every day. I have to implement planning. If I don't plan, then I'm most likely not going to be able to do the things that I want or to achieve the things that I want. If I don't set and meet deadlines, then I'm going to be stressed out, not be able to focus on the task at hand. And the last one is to be on time. And if I'm not on time to places, then still I'm going to be stressed out. My students are going to be waiting for me. I don't like that. I care about my students. I don't want to show them that I care, so I need to be on time. I need to be able to focus, again, on the task at hand, be able to help my students as much as I can, to show my friends that I care about them. So I have to implement these 3 things in all parts of my life. So whether that's my golf goals or my goals with my husband Aki, or my goals with Charlotte to spend more time with her, in all parts, I have to make sure that I implement these 3 things. And I had my reasonings because I didn't want to have my students waiting. I want to show them that I care. I need to plan because I need to get things done. I need to make deadlines, or else they're not going to get done on time, and then I'm going to be stressing out, not being able to focus. Does that make sense? So you have to know why the things that you need to work on are going to be important to you, and that you're going to actually do them. Because if you just write down, oh, it's just going to help me hit better shots, well, yes, hitting better shots could help you achieve your goals, but that might not be a convincing way to get your bottom up and move out the door so you can practice and get your work done. Does that make sense? Okay, step number 3, you have to work on your goal daily. Okay, so think about the 3 things I'm working on. If I don't implement that daily, it's going to be harder and harder to do. It's not going to be as comfortable. There's a couple times last year where I was like second guessing myself. I'm like, oh my God, I put all this work in. I hired a coach, and is this for sure what I want to do? Like implement these 3 things? Maybe I don't need to. Maybe this coach is crazy and she just wants my money. So it's best to just put in the work on a consistent basis, daily, as in every day. Now, maybe your schedule doesn't allow you to work on it for hours and hours. But even for 5 minutes, even if you only had 30 seconds to just kind of work on your grip, work on that club face, turning that club face, working on that lower body, getting into that better position on the top. Something is better than nothing. And I lost my train of thought. Sorry. Even visualizing what you want in your golf swing or your golf game, or if it's a mindset, or how you need to show up to practices. Feeling that way on a daily basis can help remind you to do it all the time, because what we want to do is create the habits, the good habits, break the bad ones, create the good ones, so you can play your best all the time, right? Okay, number 4. To ensure you can work on your goal daily, you must plan for it and create the time. You guys still might be thinking, I don't have time. I don't have time. Well, if you keep saying that, you're not going to do the opposite, which is to find time or create time or to make time. For me, creating time resonates with you the most. I'm not sure exactly why. It's just crazy how certain words just resonate with people in particular. So creating time for me just was an aha, and I was able to create time like no other. And I've been at my busiest. Just think about, being an entrepreneur. Luckily I have a partner, which is my husband, Aki, but we have so many hats that we have to wear in our life, in our life too, but in our career. And having a daughter who's, still growing up and needs our attention, and we're chasing after her because she's a toddler. It's probably the busiest I've ever been, and yet I still created time to do everything I've been wanting to do. Like, I love scrapbooking, so I've been able to go on like a long weekend retreat and some other like play days where you can go and scrapbook and create these crafts for hours and hours. And I was able to do that because I planned properly. And I was still able to hang out with Aki. I still was able to work on my work, and I was still able to hang out with Charlotte. So you must plan. It's so important. And I know we've been stressing this in our classes and in our calls on Sundays, but it's the only way. I mean, in my opinion, and in my journey, the last 36 years of my existence, I mean, that's the only way that I can accomplish anything, is to plan, and not just plan, but actually do it. Okay, so planning will help you do it, and then just make sure you create the time, create the effort, and get it done. That's going to help you play well all the time, because it's in the calendar. Oh, before I go there, I wanted to show you my 3 planners for those that, anyway. So I have 3 planners. I have my appointment book, which I have all my students' appointment times. I just got this yesterday, and I've been wanting a monthly one, a monthly calendar, so then I could look at this on a bigger picture because I don't like having to scroll on my camera or on my phone or on my computer. So I got a monthly one that I'm going to implement. And then I have a daily calendar or planner, which most of you have. But if you don't have, this is a game changer, a lifesaver, just my Bible. It's the High Performance Planner by Brennan Burchard. I know there's probably a lot of great planners out there, but so far this is the best one I've ever used, and it just really gets you to think clearly, know what your purpose is, to be disciplined, and to just really get stuff done, to take action. And also it gives you a little journal for the evening to talk about or to think about what you could have done better. And like I said, this is all going to help you achieve your goal to play better all the time. All right, let's go to step number 5. Put your goals and the tasks on how to achieve it all around you. Put your goals and your specific tasks on how to achieve it all around you. So you can't see it now. I don't want to show my messy house, but I have just some notes from my other Bible, the 5-Second Rule book, all around my house. I have quotes on my Instagram. I have notes in my phone. I have notes in my planners, just to remind me what I need to do to achieve and perform at my highest level. Just like how you guys want to achieve and play your best all the time. Make sure it's around you so you'll do it and take action and help remind you why you're doing it. Okay, the last step number 6, write out distractions that could potentially arise. This question is in your high performance planner. But for example, last year when I was going through some seminars, that's like been my obsession lately, which is good that I realize that I'm obsessed with that because that's helping me achieve my goals. There's a couple of family members that said I was crazy, and I'm thankful for that too, because that means that I'm making my way up to where I want to go. So I had to kind of write that out and tell myself, okay, they're not in my shoes. They don't know what I'm doing or the reasoning behind what I'm doing. No one will ever know the reasoning of why you're doing what you're doing. Only you would know. And that's okay. No one needs to know that's no one's business. It's your business. It's your life. It's your goals. And you should be the only one that really, really, really cares about it, because you need to be accountable for your actions. And so yeah, just writing things out in your journal that could potentially distract you. For example, another example for me is taking off Instagram and Facebook and Pinterest off my phone, because that tends to distract me all the time. I'm a big, big, big procrastinator. That's why I need to set those deadlines, plan, and so write out all the things that could distract you, and then take action on them. So if that means take off Instagram, you can always put it back on, and you can always plan for those distractions too. You can set 30 minutes a day aside, and look or chat with your friends or call your friends. Remember, I'm not saying we want a healthy obsession towards our passion, not a crazy one where you just focus on golf. because that doesn't help. You need balance in your life. You need to spend time with your family. Now, there's going to be times when you have to maybe sacrifice not being able to go somewhere because of an upcoming event. But, you can always make up for it too. So golf is not your life. It's a part of your life, and you can have a life outside of golf and still achieve everything, even playing your best all the time. Okay, so here are some common mistakes that people make even though they have a system. Here's some do's and don'ts. So do go over the steps as much as you need to. If you need a copy of them, let me know. I can always send them to you or give them to you at class. Start applying the system tonight. Do apply the system tonight, and do go over the steps as much as you need. Sometimes you might forget. And why not apply it? Because it's only going to help you. Here are some don'ts. If you forget to plan your schedule, just write it up right away and see what you can implement at that time. You can always ask your parents at the time to take you to golf. If they can't, remember you can always do things at home. Just take out your club, group your club, and start making those changes. Don't give up. Like I said, there's been times in this last year, my best year ever, 2019, and I know this one's probably going to be even better, 2020, but just know that there's going to be hard times, and you're going to be struggling through some of the changes that you need to make in your swing or in your mindset or the things you say to yourself. But it's worth it. It is so worth it. Yeah. So make sure you just never ever give up, because if you give up, you're never going to know how far you can go in your golf game, because how you play now is not necessarily how you're going to play later. You're going to be playing better and better and better all the time if you put in the work and implement these steps. Please don't waste one entire hour of your life from this evening or from today listening to this and then not do anything about it. Please implement these 6 steps. It's easy. You can do it. You can do it. If you've come this far in your golf career and in your life, you can do anything. And don't let other people control your capabilities. Like I mentioned earlier, those distractions of people, who cares about what they say? It really doesn't matter. Let that fuel your fire to even focus even more on your goal. And it doesn't matter what people think or say. It just matters what you think, because it's your goal in your life. So thank you, first of all, that you've come. I'm not done yet, sorry. But I do want to say congratulations for getting this far in today's webinar or today's live cast. I know it's a lot, and I know you guys are busy, but if you are doing this all the time and putting in the work, I promise it's all going to and practicing outside of scheduled practices, it's all going to be worth it for sure. Okay, so one thing I want you to do right after we get off this live cast is to work on the changes you need to make in your golf game. It could be anything. You could be working on your putting stroke for a couple minutes before you have to go back to studying, or it could be on writing your goals or your plan for the week. But you have to do one thing after you get off today's call, and because if you don't, you're not going to be able to play your best and to the best of your ability all the time. Okay? Habits are created with practice, and there's no other way you're going to achieve it unless you practice. Practice, practice, practice. Practice makes progress. Practice makes permanent. There's one more other thing about practice, but you can't play your best all the time without practice. Let's see, what else? I know that there is someone on today's live cast that wants to be the medalist in at least one of our matches. And like I mentioned before, if you want to do that, you must, I know I sound like a broken record, but just implementing the 6 steps is going to help you so much in achieving this. So please take the time to do so. Before we wrap everything up, does anyone have any questions on today's topic on how to achieve your best golf on a consistent basis? Does anyone have any questions? Anything that you are stuck on? Anything you want to talk about? Anything you want to share that can help other people achieve their goals in golf? Anyone? No? Okay, everyone's being shy this evening. All right. Well, thank you so much for tuning in today and for allowing me to share my 6 steps that will help you play play better all the time. I hope you enjoyed the topic. If you have any questions, please do not hesitate to ask one of your coaches. Okay, does someone have a question? Because I see someone raising their hand. Let me see. Sorry. Maybe she did on accident. Oh, sure. She wanted to know what the 6th card was. It was write out distractions that could potentially arise and basically distract you on your achievement, on your achievements, on your goals. Good? Write out distractions that could possibly arise, that could potentially arise. You're welcome. Anybody else? Should I go through these one more time? Step 1, you have to want to see changes and be willing to change. Sorry, I can't read it. You have to want to see changes and be willing to change your life, because changing your habits in your golf game or in any other part is going to be part of your life. So you have to make these changes. Step 2, know exactly what you need to work on and why. Number 3, you have to work on your goals daily. That creates good habits because we want to break those other ones. Practice makes progress permanent, perfect. You can have the perfect life. To ensure you can work on your goal daily, you must plan for it and create the time to do so. So for me, it's create time. For some, make time, find time. Number 5, put your goals and the tasks on how to achieve it all around you. keep it handy. So then it reminds you to get up and get going. And then the last one again, write out distractions that could potentially arise. So then you could journal it, look at it, and say bye to it because they're not going to help you. Thank you so much again for tuning in, and we will see you again at another live cast. Have a good one. Thank you.